This is a guy who, though he's supposed to be on the side of justice, and I don't know him or his resume to say he isn't, detectives usually solve crimes, which means they're usually testifying and on the side of the prosecution, not the defense. Let me say that. I said usually. I'm not even implying any miscarriages of justice here or any criminal acts or behavior on the part of the detective here. I'm just saying they solve crimes, so they're usually on the side of the prosecution. So if the defense attorney from Monroe County, Mr. Creel, whatever his name was just saying what he was saying because he's a defense attorney and he's arguing the defense's side, why did this 20 to 25 year professional homicide detective just sit up there and say it doesn't take a lot of evidence for a grand jury to indict? He said the same damn thing that the defense attorney said. Remember the defense attorney told a joke. He wasn't being callous. He was just telling a joke to show us how easy it is. He said the prosecution should be able to get the grand jury to indict a ham sandwich. Now we get this 20 to 25 year professional homicide detective saying it doesn't take a lot of evidence to get a grand jury to indict. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a total fan. If this is the justice system we have, then this is the one we need to go with. When you get these cases where somebody is accused of child molestation, rape, or whatever, and they end up getting murdered by someone else who feels like child molesters and rapists and stuff need to be, I'm not with that, bro. I'm not with that. I'm a singular-minded man. If I'm right here, I'm right here. I'm so black and white, it's probably pitiful. If I'm right here, I'm right here. If I'm right there, I'm right there. If street justice is the way that we go, then I'm not mad at Bryan Kohberger or whoever. Let me not even say Bryan Kohberger, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if he's guilty, and I don't think he is. But some of these other people, the Long Island serial killer, but I'm sorry, I don't know your case. I think you are. I think you're guilty. I'm sorry. They just laid it out too easy. They came out the door laying your case out, big dog. I think it's over with for you. Rest in peace to your victims. The young lady I mentioned earlier who dismembered her boyfriend, her husband, and got a life sentence after she was convicted. If street justice is the call, guys, then I'm not mad at her for murdering her boyfriend. I'm not mad at the Long Island serial killer for the people he killed. Because if you get to decide when it's okay to break the law and punish people and abuse people and murder people, then everybody else does too. And they don't have to abide by your logic and your reasoning. If somebody cuts them off in traffic and they decide that that's a good enough reason to dismember them and murder them, you don't get to say, well, the rule is they got to be a child molester. Who gave you the authority to make the rule for everybody? Either we're abiding by the established rules or everybody just gets to be outlaw out here. And I'm abiding by the established rules. That's just the bottom line, because I ain't no damn outlaw, because I had some bodies under my belt if I was. And I'm pretty sure somebody would have probably unbodied me. So I'm just saying, guys, we got to calm down from our self-righteousness. It doesn't matter if somebody was a child molester. It doesn't matter if they just went to jail because they were a habitual DUI violator. It doesn't matter. The justice system is there to deal with crimes, not outlaw justice. If you're on the side of outlaw justice, then I want to say some words that I shouldn't say, but like I say, then you logically don't get to determine or be mad at any other criminals, no matter what they did, because you believe that people get to determine when people should be punished and murdered or whatever. That's how you think. You think it's okay for us to determine that. Let me get back. Since I said all that rant, I said that rant to say something. I still know our justice system is broke. Because I don't know how nobody could go behind closed doors, and I'm pretty sure if I talk to some prosecutors or some defense counsels even, or judges or whoever in the legal system, they could tell me how it makes sense sometimes that grand juries need to be impaneled because certain witnesses and certain evidence does need. I'm pretty sure that they can make that make sense to me. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see how it makes sense, though. I need that explanation. Because if you're accusing somebody of a crime, then why in the hell do you get to go behind closed doors and keep them out of the proceedings, gather people in the room and tell them only what you want them to know and say, this is enough to indict them of this crime? Because you know what happens if they're not indicted, guys? You know what happens. I'm not speaking condescendingly to you here. If someone is not indicted, you know what happens, right? The charges are dropped. Because we say we don't have enough evidence to continue this process. So now let's get back to that comment that I told y'all about. Somebody said, I hope this is what they said, because I don't want to butcher them or misquote them. There's not a judge alive who would drop these charges. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all don't watch, whoever you watch, the real litigation experts. You watch them? Because I didn't. I don't think Ann Taylor asked for the charges to be dropped. I think it's very clear she asked for the indictment to be dropped. There's a difference, guys. You either drop the indictment or we going back to prelim. Now, I was a little confused when I read that motion that she filed, because if the indictment is dropped, aren't we going back to prelim here too? Or if the indictment is dropped or the charges dropped. I don't think that's the case. This is where I need you guys, you professionals out there, to correct me if I'm wrong. I know a lot of people are sitting in jail right now that haven't been indicted. I don't know what it is. The law is, I don't know if there's a nationwide law. I don't know what it is where I'm at in Florida or where you're at, but I know a couple of years ago I was studying a case, and I'll be frank with you, one of my homeboys was in jail. And the law back then in Georgia was they could keep you in jail for 90 days without indicting you, and then they had to give you a bond. So you sat in jail without being indicted. So in this case, I don't know how it works in Idaho, but it doesn't seem to me that she's going as far as to saying drop the charges. She's saying drop the indictment that the grand jury, handed down. Because now we have to go back and see if y'all even had enough evidence. And that's why it was so important for me to put that video of that 20 to 25 year tenure professional homicide detective in there. He's saying it doesn't even take a lot of evidence. Now let's get back to this case, guys. We already know that they didn't really present a lot of evidence because they ain't presented nothing. Look at what's going on in the Long Island serial killer case versus what's going on in the Idaho 4 case. You tell me something, man. This is an opinion here. We can go back and forth about it. Which one of those cases is more high profile? Now, recency bias is going to come into play in most of our answers here, but I'm personally going to say definitely the Idaho 4 case. Now, I might be wrong there, but I'm asking that question to say, why, if they had all of this evidence that all of the Bryanators keep telling us that they have, why are they being so closed-doored about it? Because Ann Taylor is not playing, and this is why I kept saying it's cool when they do it, it's a problem when I do it. When News Demon Nation, Nancy Disgrace, all these other people were just coming up with these sources, no facts whatsoever. They just had sources every damn day. The Bryanators were telling us, see, look what they got. See, look what they got. They don't have a damn thing. They got another source. News Nation had 5 sources a day. Source. There was nothing there. Dateline did a whole damn episode that went viral based on, if nothing was there, there's no facts. I guarantee you 90%, if not 99% of that episode, that webinar, whatever that was that Dateline did, slow your ass down, boy. Who are you speaking for? Probably is not like there's probably like lie detectors tests. Probably can't even be accepted in the courtroom. But we were supposed to believe that. And now they're back. The Bryanators, your backs are against the wall, and their answer is, well, they have evidence, and then they're just wait. They got it. Ain't nowhere in hell, homie. Nowhere in hell. I want to remind you of something because this gets lost a lot in this case. 4 people were murdered. 4 people were murdered. Can you imagine what it takes to murder one person? I'm not talking about self-defense and somebody died. I'm not talking about car accident and somebody died. I'm not talking about an unfortunate tragedy and somebody died. I'm talking about 4 people were intentionally murdered. Can you imagine what it takes to murder one person, much less 4? And you want us to believe that the one man that they ain't presented no damn evidence on, that damn touch DNA ain't even no evidence to me. That's not even evidence to me. You want us to believe that he is the person that murdered these 4 people alone. Let me tell you what the kicker is here. On the foundation of if he's not, there is someone still walking the streets, or multiple people still walking the streets that are willing to murder 4 people. You want me to gamble that this non-ass case that the prosecution has not presented is enough for me to gamble the lives of innocent people still living in that area, still living in America, still living in ain't no way in the hell. They need to be doing what the Long Island investigators are doing, the FBI and everybody that helped them in that case. I started to say to him, all y'all Negroes to me, Negro, insure us. We need to know you got the right person. He, she, them, they, whoever, pronoun, noun, whatever, already murdered 4 people. We need to know you got the right person. We ain't got time to be playing these damn games with y'all. What's wrong with y'all high? And now
I hope you guys go check his channel out. It's really good.